welcome everybody to this long-awaited episode of the Ringcast. I know a lot of people have been asking about it, so here we are. We got Dean the Dream, the Oxfather, and we got Danny 9.8 Lee.
Michael Bonin.
Welcome everybody. Sorry it's been so long since our last episode. Last episode started out, I had COVID. That was day 2 of COVID, and that was probably the best I felt the whole time I had COVID. And that lasted about a couple weeks, and Zach bought a house, but here we are. I mean...
Oh, you motherfucker. You threw that on me.
Oh. well, there's just a lot, there's a lot going on. I mean, people have lives and children and stuff, but it won't happen anymore. This is our big awakening. We were gray before, and now we came back white. So,
wow.
That sounded racial.
Not all of us.
A little bit.
Wizard-wise.
We got Ducatri Equan, Lemur Hernandez, Danny Lee in the chat. Lemur says first time seeing the Ringcast.
You'd love to see it.
It's been a bit, but I got some really cool stuff. So, Mark and I have been watching this auction for, I want to say, the better part of 3 months, and every how dare you, Mario, how fucking dare you, every few months, or every few weeks rather, I've been checking with Mark like, hey, this guy still has these comics for sale, and like he would list them for like 4-day auctions, which was kind of weird, but every 4 days it would end no bid. And I messaged him, I was like, hey, I'm super interested. Like, would you sell just the second and the third book by themselves? And he's like, no, I would have no use for the first. And I'm like, well, that's the one people really want. Like, who's buying the second and third? People just want the first one. All the key first appearances.
I was going to say, I like the third one too. First and the third a lot.
So, I sent him another message maybe about 2 weeks later. I'm like, hey, bro, like, I see it's gone up a few times since we last spoke. If you're willing to... cut me a deal, like, I'll buy them right now. Like, I have a guy who's interested in the first book. I want the last 2. I'm like, let's make a deal. Left me on red. The auction's gone up, I think, 6 times since that message. And finally, this time, he put it to best offer. And to put it into perspective, the trio started at $300. And in the 3 months, it went from $300 starting bid down to... 200 starting bid. I think it was 215. And so I was like, you know what? I'm about to get my tax refund. I've been busting my ass cleaning this other house. Victoria said she wants to buy me something nice. Mark has the money for the first book. And I sent him an offer of $140 on After Dark, which is crazy because they arrived so quickly. And immediately was declined. So when you do best offer on eBay, you can set a threshold where if it's below, it just automatically doesn't even hit your inbox. And I was like, okay. Well, I was like, let me go up to 150. Like, that's, plus shipping, that's the most I want to spend. And it went through to his inbox, and within like 5 minutes later, he accepted the offer. And I was like, holy shit. So basically half price.
Now I'm wondering if he was like cursing your name. You know what I mean? It probably had to piss him off, because he's probably looking through all his DMs and he's like, man, this fucking guy.
I think so. I think so. He's like, this.
But at least he shipped it fast.
Oh, he shipped it.
I doubt he used the word Latin.
Nah.
How dare
you? Dude, Zach always spits in all the buyers' mouths when it comes to
the sellers' mouths.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sellers' mouths. I mean.
For Danny in the back room says, "Wow, Zach took over. It's my new this week, motherfucker."
I'm
Jesus.
just kidding.
So we got these in today. So Mark, I'm gonna try to ship yours out, hopefully here pretty soon.
That's all right, man. You got a lot of stuff going on. Take time, baby boy.
Zach, you have the first one in a 9.6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I have.
I'm the one stuck with the 9.0. But that's okay. I don't care as long as it's over a 9, and that's the cover I really wanted. If I only had one, I kind of want the Smaug one too, just to kind of have a pair. So
what are the notes on the right side of the where it says like first appearance, cameo, like what are the...
Yeah, so it says Actually, let me grab it and I'll confirm with you.
And real quick, thank Gigi's Toy Mafia, Hold My Balls,
Wow.
John Ortiz.
I'm glad you said it.
And CT 603 is all in the chat. So really appreciate you guys being here.
What's up, CT?
Okay, so it says adapted from the novel The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and then wraparound cover. There's so many first appearances. They don't have them listed, but there are some significant things in this. And your slab is not too bad, Mark. If you want a big hammy Dean, there's Mark's slab there. There's a little scuff here on
At
the
the
slab,
bottom?
but yeah,
That's
right.
all right.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Definitely a beautiful looking book. And this display is on the wall beautifully.
Yeah, and again, you really got to go through them with a fine-tooth comb to differentiate between a 9 and a 9.
Yeah, really, it's just a number on the front. Maybe I'll get a sticker. I'm gonna buy a sticker.
A 9 and a 9.8.
I'm gonna buy a
Jesus.
9.8 sticker and put it over top.
Thank you for not saying "hold my balls" right after my name. Jesus Christ. I also got. I don't know how deep I'm gonna get into collecting these because it's been kind of a bitch to display them. But I was like, I've seen Brenton in the Patreon chat talking about film cells. And I was like, I know it's kind of an older film, but I wonder what's out there for Lord of the Rings film cells. So I found two IMAX 70mm film cells. The first is Bilbo and Bag End from the beginning of The Hobbit. And the second is Gandalf when he meets young Bilbo.
Which are two complete banger scenes.
Yeah.
So, if it was me, like I have a couple of the like animated cells from like the X-Men and stuff like that, but it's all like the lower half of somebody's body or somebody getting thrown or something. It's not, And how big are the IMAX? Are they different size than a regular film cell?
It's about like 4 stamps. Like a film cell's pretty small.
Yeah.
It's about 4 to 6 stamp. Like if you think like a postage stamp, it's like
that's actually pretty. That's a pretty good size.
Maybe like 2.5 inches by 2. So
Nice.
not too bad.
That's
Danny's
not bad because that's what I was thinking about it too. But I was like,
you.
the same thing. Danny knows
I
about
heard you giggle, so you're gonna say just like fucking smart. So that was that, and then the last thing that I got.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I don't know. Is this your picture, Mark, or my picture?
That's my picture, but it's the
Oh
same
well,
thing.
we both got it. It's
congrats,
We
the
had to wait a long time.
Both of them.
Gandalf on the Eagle, and we waited since fucking November for this
Dude,
shit.
see how small this thing is? Oh my gosh, it's so fucking small. I can't stand how small it is.
I'll let you.
But it's
I'll
nice.
let you take over the new this week, Mark.
It's really nice. So yeah, this is what I picked up. I got the Gandalf on Kwai here, and this is a $130 statue. I really wanted it. I really love the pose and stuff. I just wish it was bigger, but got it for $30. So I really love that. Can somebody slide me? Dean, can you get me the next? No, the next slide.
I don't
Oh,
have
sorry.
slides.
Sorry.
oh.
I never heard
know
someone
how-
slide me before. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
And then I
Slide in your DMs.
I got this
Wow.
Bilbo on the bench, and this is from The Hobbit because they aged. He obviously aged, and you excuse it because that's how time works. So, but I mean, it's a nice statue. It's probably my least favorite just because it's not. It's just him chilling. So, but no, I really like doing
Yes,
that. And then
smoking that
what
pipe
else
weed.
did I get? Oh yeah, I got the Legolas Asmus, and I was really. I was gonna buy it from Ian, but then the Queen's coin is a is a very strong thing. Because when I went to convert it, and then with shipping would have been like $350. I'm like, damn. So then I forget where, because I had it on pre-order somewhere, but then it was in stock. So then I finally got it, and the thing's awesome. For Asmus, I know everybody likes to shit on him. I don't mind the hair because it's the back is rooted, and I shouldn't even say rooted. The sculpt covers up the rooting, so it's not. There's really no detail, but I mean the fabric looks great. The belt looks great.
I want this so
They give you a lot of They give you a lot of arrows. The only thing is, this is the first time because with the Hobbit, he has a sword which he doesn't have in the Lord of the Rings. The sword's plastic. That's the first time
I hate to
Asmus has
see
ever
it.
given us a plastic sword. But at the same time, it's from the Hobbit, and I wouldn't use it anyway. If they were going to give you anything, they should have gave you Orcrist. That would have been cool.
Gigi asked in a great question. Can someone explain to me why Gandalf couldn't hop on the eagle and throw the ring into the fire. So
Well,
it's pretty risky to ride the eagle, because if you think about Mordor and Mount Doom, it's patrolled by like 9 Felbies in the air and like archers, and it's like
Yeah,
a
they don't
really
see 'em
heavily
coming.
fortified
Yeah, they would be prepared.
city.
Yeah, the Eagles aren't impervious to pain or anything like that. And actually, like, because they talk about it in The Hobbit, because The Hobbit.
Yeah, he
book
was
movie-
shot down as a young eagle.
Yeah, they only carry him so far, and the reason that they're friends with Gandalf is because Gandalf had saved the guy here from being. He was shot with an arrow because he says, "I'm not going to take you." They weren't going to take him past the town people, and this is in the Hobbit book, because they would shoot at him because the eagles would eat their sheep and stuff like that. So the
Yeah.
Eagles, they weren't like friendly with the humans. They was equal enemies. I mean, they weren't. They're not bad,
Yeah.
but they're their own
They're
beast.
just doing eagle stuff.
Yeah, so they just had common enemies.
Dude, speaking of animal stuff, I saw a.
Oh, boy, wait a minute.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, National Geographic last night, dude.
But
Holy
also,
shit.
didn't the eagles not want to interfere with the Middle Earth affairs also?
Well, the thing is, yeah, they're supposed to bring messages, and like when the only reason that Gwaihir went to save Gandalf from Isengard in the first
'Cause the
place
old one
was
solid, right?
was no, because in the book, Radagast goes tells Gandalf, Saruman wants to talk to you, and then so he goes there. Well, he was misled. But then Gandalf tells Radagast, tell all your friends, birds and beasts, that if there's any news on the enemy, to bring it to Gandalf and Saruman, because nobody knew Saruman was bad at the time. So it just so happened, chance. That's why Gandalf. I mean, that's why Gwaihir had showed up to save. He wasn't there to save Gandalf. He was there to give him a message. And then when Gandalf says, "How far can you take me?" he says, "I can take you far, but not to the end of the earth. I was here to bear a message, not a burden."
Wow.
So
Also, Tolkien wrote a lot of letters, sort of like diary notes, and one of them specifically, he talked about the eagles, and he knew that if they were overused in the book, it would kind of,
yeah, it's kind
kind of ruin the quest. It's like a
overpowered, yeah.
fast travel. He just wanted
God
them
mode.
to be there for transport and just to kind of like small things that were very important, and not just have them be like the beasts of burden for the fellowship. So
like in
yeah, there's a lot of real world reasons, like in the Lord of the Rings. Then also he just didn't like that as like kind of an out for them whenever things got bad. But yeah, that was a great question, Gigi. There's another picture of your Legolas there. You'd love to see it.
yes, and I had finally completed my all the I now have all the dwarves and all the different type of dwarves, but I was missing Bomber, and I had ordered it from Bricklink. Well, it took like 2 weeks to get here for some reason. Well, then it left because it went to my neighbor's house. The house is vacant, so it said return to sender. So it took a week to get back to that guy's house, and then he said, "Do you still want it?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you're gonna have to pay to send it back." So it cost me an extra $475. So it took that thing was been shipped for 3 months.
Wow. In other words, it went there and back again.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, nice.
So it was very expensive, and then I had to buy another bag end because so many of my brown pieces were cracked.
That was
So
brilliant.
now I have that was a great line. So I had to buy a second set. So I probably spent over $300 on that set.
Dude, honestly, at that point, so I have the set, but I'm about to build the bigger bag end from Brickley.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was me, bro, I would have just got.
Well, I'm
the
gonna
bigger
get that
set.
too. Well, the thing what I'm gonna do is with my other one, I'm gonna like make an orange door
I see.
out of
okay.
pieces, and I'll do like a number 3 back shot row because that was where the old Gaffer and Samwise lived.
Yeah, of
So-
course, of course. Very cool. Let's see what else we got.
That shouldn't have been on there. That was
How
for
dare-
Pete,
how
but Pete's
dare
no
you,
longer
Mark.
with us.
Well, he's not dead. He's just
Well,
not
we
here
can-
tonight.
We can say it still.
Yeah, Pete finished the Diamond Select Aragorn or Sauron
Sauron.
build the figure. But we'll get.
I also
we'll get,
got the Legolas.
Oh, you did.
What did you think of it, Dean?
I think it's brilliant, honestly.
I think so too, especially for $188.
Yeah, the materials solid. The likeness solid. I don't like the rooted hair, but I get it.
Yeah, because he couldn't sculpt and turn his head at the same time either.
Yeah, or it would look real janky. But yeah. It's my first Asmus, and I don't know why people dog on it, but
Dean, if you get rid of it, bro, I'll let you away.
I was almost gonna buy that too.
I'm surprised you're an elf guy.
Well, the news that's coming up kind of halted it.
Oh, jeez Louise. Have mercy.
What's the news, Mark?
Queen Studios announced that they're coming out. Obviously, everybody's talked about the Joker, the new 1/6 figure line they're coming out with. So everybody's been real hard for that, especially John. And they teased the Gandalf, a Legolas, and then the Ring Wraith. I mean, you see them in the pictures. So it's really exciting, but the two Asmus figures I have zero problem with is the Legolas and the Gandalf. So it would have to be, I'm sure it's going to be better, but it's going to have to blow me out of the water for me to buy another one and spend $500. But, if they're, depending on how the rooting of the hair of the Legolas is, maybe. But the Crown Series Gandalf, I don't care what anybody says about it, Sunken Eyes or not, it's my favorite figure. So, I mean, I kind of wish they wouldn't have went with a Ring Wraith. You'd think they go with like a Witch King. I don't know why people don't do a Witch King. I feel like you're just adding a helmet and a little bit of, and what, a mace?
Some weapons. Yeah.
But then maybe they're hitting up the Fellowship first, right? And the Witch King didn't show up.
Yeah. Well, the thing too is I don't think they'll do hobbits. Which kind of sucks. I mean, they might.
I think they'll nail the hobbits if anything.
I think they do. I think they would, but I just don't know if they're going to do it. Now, I would love to see, because I mean, like the Asmus, the Boromir, it's like $400, and if you find one for a good deal, it's like the pleather is all beat up on it. So some of those are hard to get, and like the Aragorn's Asmus is kind of trash. I mean, comparatively, the head sculpt's just the way they painted the face. It looks like a 6-inch figure. But I mean, the chainmail and stuff on it is great. But I mean, I don't know what else would you guys. I would, I don't know what I don't know what the price point for me would be to jump into it, because I can't be spending $500 on action figures.
Yeah, if it's anything like what's indicated, I'm not even in a little bit. I'm just ignore it,
Right.
Yeah, because the Joker, I think the cheapest option was $350. The most expensive option was the 2-pack, and that was depending on where you're ordering it from. I mean, you might be looking at $1,100 was the cheapest. So I think it's definitely a step forward for collecting. I still really think the Crown series is really good. I'm still happy that I purchased 2 of them. But whether I'll get into it at that price point, because I can't imagine they're going to do a sculpted Gandalf. I think that would be a huge mistake.
Big time.
And I think they heard I think they heard the feedback from the fans where I think the number one critique I saw was people wanted just the single pack Joker. So I hope they take that feedback and offer a single pack of Gandalf, because I think it could be great. I think that there's some room for improvement, but I think it just really is going to boil down to how expensive is it going to be, and then if it's even better than the Asmus, which I don't think it's impossible. I just think
Yeah, I just think the Asmus is at a level to where to make that jump for that price, I don't think, for me, it's not worth it. Because anytime you buy and sell something, you're losing. It's like a house. You're losing shipping. You're losing taxes. And the way taxes are done now, you're going to end up. And the way you do your taxes, you're going to have to. You know what I mean? You're going to have to become an accountant to maximize your return. And I never buy anything to sell it, because to me that's work. I hate if I sell it. I don't even if like, let's say something $20 on eBay. I won't even put it on eBay. I'll donate it, because to me it's not worth my time putting shit in a box and stuff. I got kids to feed, and nothing in the world is free.
I believe they said that we're gonna see these figures in May. I think it's Fan Fest is when they're gonna show them off. So I do agree, Mark. I mean, the Ring Wraith seems like such a weird choice because there's the Asmus one, which is all of Asmus's strong points: the diecast, the armor, the cloth goods, and then you have the third party one. Yeah, that's which company is that? Do you recall?
I don't. I could get it real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Well, another thing is there's no head sculpt, which you'd want from a Queen Studios. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what are they gonna do? Charge you $400 for a hood?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's crazy.
So I mean, I wish they would have put in a Boromir because I think everyone wants.
I completely agree.
Yeah, because like Mark said, the Asmus ones, it's not up to par. I think because it's one of the earlier figures, and it's like way up there in price. So
yeah, it hasn't been done either. So that's kind of like the weird part about. I mean, Asmus just did a Gandalf, and they literally just did a Legolas, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's the first ones they come out with. So it's just it's kind of it's exciting. It's always exciting. Like when they have $3,000 statues, I get excited even though I'm never going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that'll bring us to our next little bit of news. The Prime 1 Aragorn. They showed production photos and said they'll be shipping soon. This was just from a couple days ago. I wish they would have gave you a close-up picture though, because I really
I'll be
want to
honest.
see what it looks like.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm in a few of the Lord of the Rings collectors groups, and a lot of people were freaking out about this. One, they were hoping that, which is kind of a weird thing to hope because they didn't ever showed it in the prototype, if I remember correctly. But they wanted the I don't know what you call them, ghosts, to be like a translucent resin instead of
Dead Man of
painted.
Dunharrow was the ghost people.
So I thought that was kind of a silly critique, but the portrait I think is the worst part of this, and I get it. It's factory, someone snapped a quick photo, and that's not really what you're going to be judging it on in your collection. But a lot of people on this post from Prime 1 and then also in the Lord of the Rings collectors groups were freaking out because this is not an inexpensive piece, and the fact that the portrait didn't look that good, I think people were just really freaking out about. So some people were saying it's like a plastic toy quality, but once we get some better photos, I guess we'll really have to see. But I mean, I have the Prime 1 guts, and it's a good statue, but I mean, the painting isn't anything that's like spectacular. It's
Yeah, and really, out of all the ones they showed between the Legolas and the Gimli, this was the one that, to me, it didn't, it didn't stand out. I like the idea of the base and everything, but I mean, even the photos from before, they didn't. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, ooh, I didn't get that super impressed.
Zach, the Ring Wraith for SYY Toys.
Thank you.
They did the Troy figure. They've done an Aragorn.
Going back to that though, because Asmus is I think 180 retail, and then I think the SYY was like I think 190. It was actually just a touch more expensive.
150.
Or 150. Thank you. I don't, because if Queen's coming at 350 for their Joker, which I think is going to be less for the Ring Wraith because there's no portrait like Danny mentioned.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much better it could be.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
Because there's not that many
maybe a diorama base is really the only thing they can improve on.
The robe has to be amazing then. I mean, they have to weather it perfectly, I guess. That's the only plus.
Yeah, but it's just it's supposed to be a shitty looking robe. So it's like, I mean, how much more shitty can you make it look?
If they can make it look really shit, like like how it does in the movies, that's the only plus I can think of.
Yeah, but
sometimes it does still look, like a toy dollish fabric. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm not paying $350 for a weathered robe though. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't scream high collectible no matter how good it looks.
Yeah.
Plus, it'd be nice to be able to get a couple of them. You know what I mean? There are 9 of them.
Yeah. Oh, that might be a 2-pack or a 3-pack. What if they do that?
Like a 2-pack for cheap. Yeah.
A 9-pack.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I got 2 of the SYY toys because they're 150, so $300. And I was like, if they're bad, they'll just be in the back of the 9 because I eventually want all 9.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I want to, Mark, if you don't mind, I just want to divert just a second. for new this week. I got these sick LEDs for my TV. They mount on the back of the TV. It's a Govee Smart LED, and there's a little camera. You see that little dot right there, and it takes video of the screen and it adjusts the lights accordingly. And I put on, of course, the first thing I had to test it with was the Balrog fight, and just the fucking colors.
Sweet.
Wow.
Holy
It gets me every
shit.
time, man. Hold on, I gotta just.
Dude, what happens when you play pornos?
I don't know. Depends what type of pornos. Yeah, this shit was fucking awesome, dude. I was watching like all kinds of like Planet Earth today and just, checking it out, and it's pretty cool, man. It's
How big's
not
that
like
TV?
that's a 55-inch 4K TV.
Wow.
Nah, that's gotta look cool when you're in the depths of Moria.
Oh,
Yeah, I
big
know.
time.
I was watching Solo too, and it was fucking crazy. All the
Oh, hell
laser
yeah.
bolts.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fucking awesome.
It's
Anyways,
so fast too. It reacts so
Yeah,
fast.
it really does.
That's really
okay.
nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to show this off. At I just had to. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm interested because this line, I'm not particularly interested in Aragorn, even though this is probably my favorite, one of my favorite scenes with him. I mean, I would be doing a backflip if they were doing a fucking Gandalf. Like, that would be, quarter scale Gandalf would be my jam.
You know they're gonna do it eventually.
But how would you want it posed? I mean, you'd want Gandalf the Grey, knowing you, but
I have, I'll take both. I'll take both, to be honest. Yeah, because I do have that premium format Gandalf the Grey as like my Grail statue. But it's kind of been a while that I've been trying to get that one. So if they came in with like a $1,200 Gandalf, I might be tempted. Even though I love the premium format, the Gandalf the White, I think it's a pretty solid statue.
oh, yeah.
But yeah. Anyone else have a take on this one?
That's why I said it was just least exciting for
I
me.
mean, I
You're
wish I
not
had
getting any of
room to
those,
get
right,
those.
Danny?
What?
You're not getting any of those Prime 1, are you?
I would. I was tempted, but that's just too much real estate. I can't
Okay.
deal with the real estate of those pieces.
And then
I know what you mean, brother.
the Asma showed off a Crown Series Gandalf the White head sculpt.
That
And
looks pretty
I
good.
mean, it looks pretty fucking boss. I mean, obviously most of it's going to be covered in hair, but I mean they got his nose. They got you can see it without even the paint. So
Yeah, it's really
this
good.
is so freaking exciting. But I don't know. Somebody had told me it was supposed to release this year. Well,
I think
Obviously
the correct words were the prototype was going to release this year, is what they're saying.
oh okay.
So they'll have a production piece this year. I just really hope either they fucking fired the guy that did the rolling eyes the last time and hired someone from Hot Toys, or they just go with a normal, just a regular eye. Because I think really that's the number one area for improvement on the Crown series. I think the rooting is fantastic. I think the outfit was great. The accessories are great. The materials I think were lacking in the belt, but I mean this portrait is fucking. I mean this is the gabagool right here.
Yeah, you
This
couldn't
is-
get any better than that. And the thing is, he only rolled his eyes at Peregrine, just in Moria one time. So there's no reason for him to be rolling his eyes now. So
Yeah, and it's funny because this week I had seen Return of the King in theaters, and like in 4K, like god damn, that movie looks so fucking good. Like, and seeing this sculpt is like fucking crisp as fuck. Like you could just see every little, every little bit of detail, and yeah, it's. I mean, and of course, like we always say this, Dean, the master is going to be much better than the prototype, especially for Asmus. I think Asmus, it's like you're losing about 20%. There, I think Hot Toys is probably about 5%.
yeah. No
So
lie.
I'm not getting too excited for this, but fuck,
Yeah, but the fact you can see like just the way the wrinkles are by the crotch, like top of his nose where his eyebrows are. I mean, it's like perfectly. I mean, they got all the muscles, all the different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just looks fantastic. So I'm really
and
excited.
the
Ian
the
McKellen.
slight smirk, like it's very slight, but just the facial expression to me is just, and you're right, Mark. It's gonna be covered by a bunch of hair, but it's just fantastic, and when he's Gandalf the White, I mean, he does have a little bit of. He does look a little younger, like just a touch. I think it's just the way they did the makeup. But this just looks fantastic. Definitely looks fantastic.
Plus, he was reborn again, so he.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
He got
now
to
the
go
question
dip into the pool.
is. There you go.
He's
the question
clean.
is, 350 was 2 years ago price point. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 400. Though if it's 400, I think then you really have to have the conversation if Crown's doing a Gandalf for 5 for the single pack. If it, granted if they do one, I mean then that's a real
Yeah,
conversation.
that's a really close number. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real
But you gotta
conversation.
think it might maintain the price or it might be slightly cheaper because I think Gandalf the Grey has more accessories, right?
That's true.
Wouldn't you
too.
He does, but the outfit on the Crown.
Oh
on the
yeah,
white
he's got
is
that beading
so-
on his.
Yeah,
like,
he's got
vest.
that's true,
like
that's true.
a print and then much more weathering because his cloak is not particularly clean. It's like,
Dude, what if they include Shadowfax?
oh,
my God,
dude,
now
a Crown
we,
with Shadow
like a
Pack,
2-pack.
dude, holy
Well,
shit.
we're
we're
talking.
gonna-
I'd buy whatever company did it.
Uh,
I wouldn't.
Damn,
I wouldn't
how
care
dare
at
you.
that point.
Dean, so you need a Gandalf in your collection. I assume that means a Gandalf, not two. Would you be in for the white or the gray?
Gandalf the Great's just some more kind of
More
iconic.
more legendary, bro.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
complex character.
Yeah, he's also in more movies technically.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset either way. I don't think so. Whoever has the best one at the best price,
Yeah, it goes back to that brand loyalty. My loyalty is to whatever the fuck
Yeah.
I want. So whoever
Yeah,
does it first and best. Let's go.
Yeah, if
Asmus is going to
Queen-
do it first.
Yeah, if Queen Studios could, if their price can be better on these, I don't know. Because again, the Joker didn't leave much to be desired. Because the cheapest version was considerably
$350.
worse looking than the rooted version. So
And plus, there's 400 of that figure by every single company. So even some people's taste, not that it wouldn't be better, but for some people's taste, they're not going to turn around and sell theirs and spend an extra $300-$400 on top.
yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
So I got some decisions to make, but we'll see.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This
And
was
then-
some big news, Mark. What happened?
Yes, it was. I didn't even pick up on it at the time, but Amazon bought MGM, so I was like, oh, okay, 8.5 billion. They're just making sure they don't have to pay taxes. So you know what I mean? How corporations work. But then I didn't realize. People were saying that MGM owns the rights to The Hobbit. So that means they're gonna. It's good in a way because that means okay, they're gonna do more Tolkien stuff, which is great. But the way people are reacting with the Rings of Power, if you YouTube it, it's going to be doom and gloom. It's a Last Jedi feel when you go through the YouTube videos because everybody's it's a clickbait. This is burning down and it has Jeff Bezos is the devil and all this other stuff. So I mean I'm just interested because there's major issues. Like I am not a copyright or a rights holder or know anything really too much about that other than just from toys and stuff. But the Rings of Power show, they only have rights to the appendices of the Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So, and I didn't know that up until a month or two ago. So the story's not going to be. It's not. People are pissed off it doesn't follow the books, but they don't have the rights to the books that the Second Age is. So. It is what it is, but it's exciting in a way for me. I'm still excited because if it's shit, I just won't watch it. I'm one of those people I can compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But it's also Amazon. I mean, it's like, if you want to do big budget shit, like Netflix, HBO, Amazon, like that's who you want to be with, right? Companies that can throw a massive amount of money at something like this. So, I think it's nice and. They even is this one Amazon, Mark? The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, or is that a different company?
This is New Line, and this is part of what their legal issues going on. because New Line had the rights as long as they were in production of films. So people are thinking they literally threw this in just so that they could say they were in production, because now they're having this big rights argument because I don't know whoever owned the Tolkien estate, whoever bought the rights, I forget what the name of the company was. They're trying to like sell the rights to the movies now. So New Line's, people are thinking New Line just did this for this, but I mean I'm excited for it. It's an animated film.
Yeah, me too.
The War of the Rohirrim, and it talks about what was it? It's set for April 12th, 2024 release. So that's a long ways away. That's also why people think this is a quick, they're almost making it for legal reasons.
When is
So,
the release?
I mean,
Mark?
that's
Sorry.
why Sony did
April
The Amazing
12th,
Spider-Man.
2024.
Jesus, that's a long ass time away.
Yeah.
So it's just over 2 years away.
Yeah,
It's
Peter
an animated
Jackson.
film. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dean.
Oh, when you say animated, is it like just computer animated? Is it like anime? Like what kind of animation are we talking?
They didn't
think it's-
say.
I think it's 2D with CGI backgrounds, I guess, or elements. From what I read.
I mean, but this. They showed 2 pictures, and this is one of them, of the concept art. But it explores the untold story behind the Fortress of Helm's Deep. It delves into the life of the blood-soaked times of Middle-earth, most legendary figures, the mighty king of Rohan, Hammerhand,
Yeah.
and is set 2 centuries before the events of The Hobbit. Because you'll hear the King Theoden yell, Hammerhand, like, you know what I mean? That's like their
Yeah.
war cry, because
Yeah.
he's the one. That's why they called it, Helm's Deep. So
He's the
I mean,
guy-
I-
the
he's
statue
a
of
very
him-
iconic figure.
The statue of him was in the Helm's Deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see the one statue when you're going around the
Yeah.
concourse. So
Apparently, it is going to be an anime.
that's cool. I mean, I'm
Like a drawn anime.
Yeah, director Kenji Kamiyama.
But the thing is, I think Howard Shore's working on the music. The How and what was the other concept artist?
John Lowe.
John Lowe, yeah, they're working on it. So it's literally like, it's literally like all the people that worked on the Lord of the Rings movies, or, you know what I mean. And part of it maybe because it is New
I
Line.
mean, just look at the concept art. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks
Zach,
awesome.
Yeah.
he was the animation director for Akira.
Wow.
Wow,
Yes.
I'd love to see
That's
it.
fucking awesome.
That's
That's
exciting.
have
I
good
was like,
stuff.
I wonder what movies he's done. I was like, oh shit, okay.
We're gonna have good effects, explosion effects.
Lord of the Rings is one of those things. With Star Wars, I think we're kind of spoiled because it's like, especially now, there's like a new thing like every 3-4 months. Lord of the Rings, we don't get that kind of stuff, and so the fact that we're getting the Rings of Power show, which we'll talk about shortly, and the War of the Rohirrim is big news.
Yeah, it was like, when episode 3 finished, it was like, well, we're not going to get
Now
any
what?
Star Wars stuff, forever. So yeah, like when The Hobbit came out, I was like, oh, cool, like new Lord of the Rings stuff. And then when that ended, I was like, well, that's it. Like really, like what
That
else could we
motherfucker only made
possibly
4
get?
important books.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when it
Um,
ends on like a high note, and you're like, oh okay, I'm gonna go home.
So, yeah, Zach, you're right. It's like, oh, cool, like new Lord of the Rings content. Like whether it's good or not, remains to be seen. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking not put the nail in the coffin yet. Like some of these motherfuckers.
Right.
No.
yeah, yeah, like Dead on Arrival. It's like, guy, it was a teaser
Yeah.
trailer. Calm down.
So what's this, Mark? The Hobbit
The
theatrical
Hobbit-
audiobook.
Yeah, we talked about the Phil Dragish Lord of the Rings audiobooks and how
Yes.
great they are. This guy, he's called Blue Fax.
Yeah.
He does the same exact thing. This is the one we were talking about.
Yeah, this is
that-
not official though, correct?
No, not official.
I have this book downloaded, to be honest, and I've tried listening to it twice, and I know Alex M4 really raves about it, but I couldn't get into it. I actually like Phil Dragish's version of The Hobbit better. I know, Mark, you were saying the voices are pretty nasally, and I 100% agree with you there, but I don't know. I like his style a bit more. I just wasn't...
This is the guy I was talking about that sounded nasally.
Oh.
I don't
okay,
have
so
a,
we're-
I don't
we're
have a
talking
problem
about-
with Phil Dragish at all. I just wish the production they put into these, have a girl come in and say the handful of lines. Now it's easy with The Hobbit. There's zero talking the Hobbit there are 0 females talking. They talk about Bilbo's dead mother. You know what I mean? There's no females. You know. But then with the
There is
Lord of
one.
the who?
Oh wait, never mind.
No, that's in the
Belladonna
movie.
took, baby.
Yeah, that's
Belladonna
true.
Took is the only one. Yeah, that's it. There's no speaking. That's why I said, and that's part of the reason why people joke about the dwarves having beards and stuff like that, women having beards. They don't talk about them in the books at all. They don't talk about anybody's mother other than Bilbo's. You know, you don't talk about nobody's mama in these movies. I
I know
guess.
that's a
But I would say for anybody that doesn't like the audiobook, you know, like with some people you think audiobook, they think that you're gonna fall asleep to somebody talking. This at least gives you a chance to listen to it with, you know, the music and the sounds. And now this guy, sometimes he has just his voice is what bothers me the most. But the editing and stuff is it's really good. So I would say check it out if you haven't. I didn't even know Phil Dragish did a Hobbit version.
Maybe I'm thinking they're the same ones because
I think the same one. I
just
think
skimmed,
depend
I
on
just skimmed
how
through
you.
some of the later chapters and maybe I'm trying to check right now to make sure I'm not like saying something incorrect.
And I think too, it depends on which version you download. Because I've been times like he's on YouTube. This is on YouTube, and on YouTube it sounds completely different. I don't know if he's played with how his voice sounds. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can edit. He's obvious. You know, people like that can edit. I can't. But so I would just say check it out for people. You know, because a lot of people have never read The Hobbit, or all they know is from the cartoon, or obviously the movies. Or if you watch the M4 edit, you can see the proper version. But still, it misses a lot because it's really cool. Some characters are just so cool, and they don't really have chances to see it.
Well, I feel really fucking stupid. I guess they are the same.
The same.
I guess the reason why I thought it was Phil Dragish is because on Spotify, you can scroll through The Hobbit, and then when you keep scrolling, it goes to the first chapter of the Phil Dragish. It's just like one big feed. So I guess someone just upload them all together. But yeah, my mistake. Yeah, it's a great book then. Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking of a different version.
Well,
of the
yeah, in the
audiobooks.
beginning, the first couple chapters, which are actually like some of the best chapters in The Hobbit, he talks like really like, you know, like he's trying to like comfort you after like, you know, you've been in a car accident. You know what I mean? He's like, oh,
Wow, that's very
blah,
specific.
blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So, but it gets good as it goes on.
Yeah.
So, all right, and now we're gonna break down the Rings of Power
Wow.
teaser trailer.
Let's break down
Oh
the
my
super
God.
chat first. Paul Schreiber with the $20 super chat. He says,
Hey,
"Good
Paul.
afternoon, you sweet angels." And then he dropped the Oxfather, the Dream, the 9.8, and the Ox Icon.
Oh
What
my
a
God.
sweet angel!
Paul Schreiber, you bow to no one, my friend.
Wow.
Wow.
True.
The Rings
Love
of
it.
Power, Mark. Lots of fan backlash.
Big time fan backlash. I mean, and listen, I understand. It's not going to be just like the books. There's nothing that's just like the books. But if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Man, it's so people are so fucking like. That's why I said I didn't realize because I was checking on stuff because it was a while since I've seen the trailer. People were mad about the length of the hair on the elves, and I was like, really? I'm like, is this what we're? You know what I mean? Look, it's a freaking teaser. So I don't know. We're gonna go through it right now though. But this first shot, this is Numenor. It goes through the fall of It talks about the fall of Numenor. Now the story is compressed. You know, it takes the time period they're using is going to go over like 1,200 years, and they're supposed to have 5 seasons of the show. So I don't know how exactly they're going to cut through it.
Jesus Christ, 5 seasons. I did not
That's
know that.
that's what they're supposed to be doing. So
I heard
mean,
each
who knows what
season's
TikTok-
going to be like a jump, a big jump. I
Yeah,
heard.
that's what I heard. So I don't know because the thing is, you have elves. Elves live. You know, obviously they never die. Dwarves live to be like 300 years. You know, I mean, even Thorin Oakenshield was like 250 something when he died. You know what I mean? They usually live to be like 350. You know, humans only live 80 years. So, and you know, Numenorians live like 240. So, you know, you can't have a show of 5 seasons with humans. You know, with dwarves and then elves also, because the humans, you know, or they're like recycled characters. But you have to be able to show that these people these people have been here thousands of years. And then this is a Hobbit. Well, it's not a Hobbit.
It's like
They-
a pre-Hobbit.
They call it what do they call it? A Harfoot. So it's like a type of Hobbit, like how people say Gollum is. It's like an ancestor of a Hobbit. So they don't give you anything. She does a little voiceover. She's got a little lantern in the back, so nothing really there too much. But just showing that there are going to be more Hobbit-like characters. Sorry.
I did like the voiceover. It reminded me. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but this trailer reminded me of the Force Awakens trailer.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like that wonder and mystery and like the legends and I don't know. I got
Oh
I
yeah,
got
it did
really
that. Oh,
good
it did
vibes
that. Yeah.
from it.
And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
and it's
got
like,
really
oh,
good vibes.
back to the Fellowship, and then
Yeah.
I actually, that's why I said I really like this trailer. So this is a young Galadriel, obviously. So I think she's 5,000 years old at this point. So she's scaling a nice cliff, but it appears to be like what's known as like the Hallicrax, which is like it's like a barren waste of ice that goes from Valinor to Beleriand. So this might be part of that whole Numenor switchover, and this is stuff that kind of pisses people off because she was never in Numenor. So maybe now she'll be interacting with Numenorians, which none of that stuff bothers me at all. I mean, I think it's a cool scene. I don't mind this outfit at all. This gives me Force Awakens vibes, though, now that you mention it.
Bro,
Yeah.
if they don't make a Galadriel in this armor figure, I'll be upset.
Yeah, I dig this one. I dig this one more than the breastplate armor that we'll might see later on. And then this is just the he's called Halbrand. So I don't know what his character. I don't know. I don't think he's in the books at all. I think he's a made up character.
Yeah, there's quite a few characters that are specific just to the show, which a lot of people are upset about. But it's like, I mean, again, they're gonna have to make up some new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on, move along. So, and then in the next shot is this. This is one of those
Oh,
people
my God.
people are upset about because this guy doesn't have long blonde hair and blue eyes. But his name is Arendir, which is actually a pretty elfy name. He's a Sylvan elf. And this is a pretty cool scene. He called an arrow that somebody was shooting, and I mean, I like the idea. I don't care what color somebody is as long as their character's cool. But he's going to be another made-up character.
I think it's pretty annoying. Like, purely just judging this guy's character because of the color of the skin. You've seen 3 seconds of this character, and people are already saying, this is destroying the franchise, and I just think it's pretty fucking stupid, to be honest.
And I don't think some of the people complaining. I'm not saying I don't think they're racist or anything like that. But it's just like you're getting too. Well, I'm sure that plenty of them are, but you can't just hook onto they said this person had this color hair, this person had this color hair. It's like it's a book. You didn't see this. You know what I mean? You didn't see the guy. You don't know you know what I mean? It's not that big a deal.
I just don't understand.
And when he wrote it, it was a different time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different time. Things were different. Even like I saw the conversation recently of like, what is pipe weed? Is it marijuana? Is it tobacco? And in our modern context, when you read the book, you might think like, oh, it's like a weed, like a bit of a drug, especially some of the context of like, you haven't noticed these things happening underneath your nose because you're smoking that hobbit's leaf. And in reality, in the time frame that he wrote the story, it was very likely it was just tobacco because marijuana wasn't a big thing.
Yeah, and they referred to it as tobacco too.
Yeah, so
and in the 30s, you know what I mean. If you drank a can of Coke, it was like you couldn't drink and drive kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because people weren't stimulated. And he wrote The Hobbit when he was in World War I. So he was only around dudes. So that makes sense that when he writes a book, it's only guys. And then the 2 youngest dwarves die while he was in war. 2 of his friends died when they were too young. You know what I mean? So you understand it. It's like anything else. If you come from a country that's all the people are white, you're gonna say, oh, this person's got this. You know what I mean? You're not really thinking of it diverse. We're 70 years in the future. Everybody gets into everybody. If you know what I'm saying. So
Wow.
we're all in this together.
yeah, I just thought it was fucking stupid. To be honest.
I can't believe it's still going on.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I vividly remember when the Hobbit films came out. A lot of the fan base thought they were fucking terrible, and
They
now
hated the beards.
after seeing this trailer, now it
pissed
seems
at
like
Nebbia.
people are like, oh well, the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings were the best shit ever. Like, nah, this new shit fucking sucks.
That's what happened with.
It's almost like the prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's even
Exactly.
worse shit, and it's like you gotta, I think it's fucking silly. To be
Yeah,
honest.
I tried to watch this one video, and the guy's like, "Oh, Star Wars fans can get away with it because there's a lot of normies. They're not like hardcore like Lord of the Rings fans." And I'm just like, "Oh my god, I'm like, never gonna do this shit now."
That's the thing.
this-
Is Lord of the Rings are a little too hardcore.
Yeah, but it's
You
like
need to relax a
it's
little.
like anything else. It's a small when you have 3 books that they turned into 500 side books, and you know what I mean. You're gonna get that kind of like elitist thing.
Just
But this
wait, see how it is, then complain after.
Exactly. Wait till you actually fucking see it.
Is that Michael Sheen?
I think his name's Benjamin Walker. Is what I
I
haven't
thought you
really
were setting up.
because
The
he is
dude's- The
Hi-
dude from he looks like the guy from Tron.
Oh, he does.
That owns the bar, Zeus, I think.
Yeah, he does. But this is Gil Galad.
Dude,
Like,
I'm
Gil
looking
Galad
forward
is
to
a
this.
huge. This is very much like a main character in any of the
Yeah.
books, and they talk about it. They sing about it in the Lord of the Rings. Because obviously he dies during the War of the Last Alliance. So this is really exciting. This shows him in this clip. There's a meteor going by, which we'll get to the shot later. So he's looking up. There's a meteor going by. So just click on the next one. That's Gil Galad, very exciting, big time character. And this is Galadriel running into war. I have no context for the scene. I just thought it looked badass. That's why I said when I see stuff like this, I can't complain. What's there to
I mean, we're
complain about
seeing
that?
her. We're seeing her in action, which we never really did, except
Yeah.
for kind of in The Hobbit.
Bro, I'm all for those.
And nobody
Yeah, me too.
can do the Mary Sue shit because she's the most powerful elf in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? So bring it on, babe. All right, next shot. This is an ice troll, I guess, or whatever. Now this thing looks a little gnarly, but I don't hate it. I wouldn't want this figure though. So I think this is and orcs are the only like bad guys we see.
Yeah.
But I'm not upset. I think it's pretty cool looking.
Dude, they can make a good statue out of that, probably.
Oh yeah. And then there's this shot. I don't know where this is supposed to be, but Lothlorians consider the golden wood because in the wintertime the leaves just turn yellow and they never fall until spring, and then they fall in green leaves and kind of thing. But they don't say it. But it looks like Gil Galad's there. He looks
Yeah.
like the dude in the robe. So I don't have context for this, but this looks very. What about that doesn't look like Lord of the Rings? Because that's another thing people bitched about this trailer, that it didn't look like Lord of the Rings. I'm like some of the stuff's going to not look, because it's not. Peter Jackson didn't make it, so it just doesn't look like what you think Middle Earth looks like. You know what I mean? So I thought this was pretty cool looking. I don't know what you guys think about it. I'm most excited probably about the elves in these movies. So
That's what I'm in it more for, because I want to see more of the elves, because we only
Yeah.
got a little bit of them in the first
Yeah.
2 trilogies.
it's just Legolas.
Because
You know?
I was always under the impression the third what is it called, the third age? That's it. The third age.
Yeah.
Everyone's leaving.
Yeah, everybody's
Whereas the
leaving
second
Middle
is the heyday of elves, I guess, right?
and two,
Like they're-
everybody's sad
yes.
that they're leaving, because they're the wisest, beautiful people, and they freaking live forever. So they got their shit together. If something's elven make, it means a lot, and they have they have magical doors and stuff like that. That's something they didn't really do in the Hobbit movie, because it was part of when Bilbo was sneaking around in the in Mirkwood and stuff like that. He was afraid of getting trapped because doors would magically close and stuff like that. So these people got big time power. All right, we can go to the next shot. This is supposed to be Durin the Fourth, which doesn't make sense because he's not in anything. But Durin the Third is the dwarf that when Galadriel was fleeing, and then when she was going to Lothlorien, she had to go through what's. I'm drawing a blank. Somebody help me. Moria.
Yeah.
He helped her get through Moria, and he shut the door. So Sauron, I'm sorry. Sauron, he hated the dwarves for that, and that's why Moria got destroyed. Because he was pissed off that he wasn't able to get the Galadriel. Now, if he would have been able to get the Galadriel, he would have been able to get, because he thinks she has a ring of power, but he doesn't know. So, I mean, obviously he was going after her. So, I mean, it would be cool to see Galadriel go through Moria, and then it would give so much more weight to, the sadness of Moria. You know what I mean? Of how great of a kingdom it is, and just the fact that we're getting Moria is exciting. You know what I mean? I don't know how you guys feel about all that. I mean, some people are upset because During the Fourth wasn't in the books, but again, it's, I can't help anybody here. And this is a young,
Elrond.
whatchamacallit? Elrond, yes. Sorry, I'm blanking on names all of a sudden. And
This
people were
one-
mad his hair was short.
People were mad his hair was short. People were mad that the actor looks like they're just bitching for no reason. It was
His chin was too big or
ridiculous.
something. I heard somebody saying like they didn't like his jawline. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
He looks like the kid from Stranger Things.
He does a
A
little
little
bit.
bit.
At that angle, he does. So now I'm excited that these are the two people from the Third Age that we could have got, and this is the two people I hope we are getting. I'm pretty much got everything that I wanted to get from what I
Exactly.
understand. You know what I mean? So I'm not upset. I'm literally not upset about one thing I saw, to be honest.
Yeah,
No.
I'm right there with you.
I
Right
know
there with you, man.
we can go to the next shot.
Oh,
This is
God,
the-
one.
This is another one that set people off because this is a dwarf. She doesn't have a beard, and she's not white, which they don't say anything about the color of dwarf skin. So now these people that have problem with these are the racists. Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing saying this, because J.R.R. Tolkien didn't care. That's why he didn't say all these white dwarves. The only person that's white is Gandalf, and that's just his outfit. Give me a fucking break.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. People were complaining the beard wasn't long enough. Why is the dwarf queen black? Like, it was so fucking stupid. It was like,
Yeah.
complain about, costumes or whatever. And some people did, but
Yeah.
some of the complaints were fucking ridiculous. It was exhausting. I actually left a bunch of the groups. I just couldn't.
That's
deal
what
with
I
the
did too.
complaints.
I never really paid attention to any of them, to be honest.
Oh my God.
This is the
Yes.
exciting scene. Okay, remember I talked about that meteor coming over?
The Meteor Man.
They're calling it the Meteor Man, yeah. So when Gil-galad was checking a meteor going by, we're figuring this guy got delivered from Valinor by meteor. So this could be a blue wizard. I mean, it can't be Gandalf because Gandalf didn't show up till 1000 of the Third Age, the year 1000. But the blue wizard showed up at around the year 1500 of the Second Age. So I wouldn't mind if they gave the blue wizard something to do before they sailed east. I mean, I think the idea of this is how Gandalf comes. You know what I mean? Like fucking better entrance than Terminator 2. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking
Does that time
Really
period
exciting.
make sense?
yes, perfectly. Because the two blue wizards showed up in the year around the year 1500 of the Second Age. This
So
is
did they-
supposed to be. This is supposed to be from the year 1200. Because the year 1200 of the Second Age, I think, is when the rings were all forged. And this is supposed to be over, over thousands of years. So it fits that it would be a blue wizard. Or, I mean, who else is going to be? Tom Bombadil? No, Tom Bombadil was there before the trees and the water and the people. So
Did they
Or it could
both
be
show
the-
up at the same time, or?
they never say any of that. They just say that's when they showed up, and they said they soon sailed east to the Far East. And that's why when Gandalf's talking about it,
people.
like in the Hobbit movie, he says he forgets their names because they were gone for so long. I mean, they got there 3,000 years before he did. You know what I mean?
But could it also be what's his name in disguise, Sauron?
No, because Sauron was always in Middle Earth though. He wasn't in Arda.
I mean Saruman. No, Sauron. Sorry.
That could be Sauron. I didn't even think about that.
I think I heard some people talk about that, so that's why
I guess it could be. I don't know when Sauron.
trying to get getting good faith. So if he crash lands in Numenor or whatever.
Yeah, and that would be cool to see him when he's good.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I love the idea of him arriving by fucking me. I mean, I think it's a badass entrance, and I think it'd be cool if it was a wizard. Because I'd like to. I mean, I think Lord of the Rings. I mean, not Lord of the Rings. I think Middle Earth needs a wizard. You know, that would make it feel a little less Tolkien to me if there was no wizards. You know, and this is Galadriel's brother Finrod. Finrod. I forget what his other little name was. And this is an elven battle. I don't mind any of these. I think the helmets look a little too like everything now. Everything looks like a Trojan helmet or like a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
They look like elvish Mandalore. But the actual armor looks awesome. And I mean, it could just be the angle. I mean, that's literally anytime somebody does concept art, they draw the helmets about the same. There's nothing new to come up with, I guess. And the orcs. I mean, the orcs. Nobody. Even the biggest bitchin' complainers can't complain about that. I dig the armor. I dig the dark look. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it reminds me of Helm's Deep with that rain and that mud.
Totally.
Dude. Fucking clean.
And this is really exciting. Because some people are like, oh, is that an adult with a kid's hand? We're figuring it's a... Because that's how Gandalf had his hands wrapped. And dude's hands are dirty. No, but what wizard could it be? Who the hell knows? I mean, I don't know if they'd be allowed to have... That's what I mean. It'd be the blue wizards. Other than that, I don't know because... Yeah, that's it. Because that's all the wizards there were. There was only 5 wizards. I don't think they'd be allowed to make up a new wizard. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, people would fucking freak out.
Yeah. I mean,
it would be cool though.
Yeah,
it would be cool.
So I don't know, because it almost looks like too obvious. Like, why would they tease somebody this and then blue ball you when the show comes out?
Also, the mud on the hands. Gandalf's hands are really dirty too. So
yeah, he was a wanderer.
Oh,
The great
that would be fucking awesome.
That's what
to hear about the blue wizards would be fucking awesome.
Mithrandir was the
because this is
Grey Pilgrim.
This is too early for Gandalf, I think. Right?
It is, but it's gonna piss people off. But I wouldn't mind if it's Gandalf.
Dude,
ahead,
we only got Ian
fuck
McKellen
yourself.
for so long, dude.
Yeah. Well, Ian McKellen said if they wanted to, if they did a Gandalf, only he could play it. He'd be willing to come back at 85.
Jesus Christ. You'd film all 5 seasons.
Dude, he was old in 99. Wow.
Wait, so would Gandalf show up the same look, or would he be younger? That's what I always.
Now they talk about that about the wizards and the appendices about they could show up, they could look young if they wanted to, but it's the reason they look old with a beard is so that people know they're wise and they know you know what I mean. They literally, it's like if God were to come down and put himself in a certain image, So it's really, it's really exciting. So.
Yeah. I think that's it for the recap.
Yeah, try to keep it under an hour. My bad.
A rundown of the network.
Yeah, the weekly shows are Collecting Weekly Live, obviously, the mothership. And that's on Tuesdays. The After Dark, that's every Wednesday night. Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, that's John's main baby. That's on Mondays. And then the newer show, Collectors Club, is on Friday. And that switches every other Friday with In and Outs of Collecting. And it's pretty much all the same guys, though, right?
Yeah.
John, Eddie, but yeah. So really, yeah. And then OFAC, they're every other Thursday with Small Talk. Pose Wars is... Is it bi-weekly now? Because you guys kind of
monthly
it.
now.
Monthly
now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's on Saturdays. Bricks and Brews are on Sundays, and
It's tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Monthly, yeah.
Tomorrow, and then the another bi-weekly show, Live and Let Dice. That's tonight.
Tonight.
So make sure to hit the. Make sure.
Yeah,
you
we
got
should
that,
be for
bell
Live and Let
notifications.
Dice. We should be back to back. So we'll do Saturday and then next Saturday.
Yeah, and that's
to
catch up because Zach was moving last week.
What the fuck? Why do you guys throw that shit?
I'm
at me?
excited.
I was
That's
ready
an
to play.
exciting
That was
thing.
Cody's thing last week. He had the work
sorry.
emergency. How dare you? That's the second time you've done that. I was ready to stream last week too. We had Dean to step in. You motherfucker.
Oh, that's right. Oh, but Danny couldn't do it last week.
You fucking guy.
Well, I could.
Mark, just stop.
It was my fault.
You fell asleep. That's what happened. April Patreon benefits. I was in the middle of my move, and I was like, man, I hope they had a good ring cast. And I checked, and I was like, oh, I don't see it. And I was like, how'd the show go? Oh, we didn't do it. I'm like, what the fuck? April
Yeah.
Patreon benefits.
Jumbo,
we got-
Jumbo.
Mark asked me last week. He's like, "Yo, can you join in on the Ringcast this week?" I was like, "Sure." And then like Monday rolled around. I was like, "We never did Ring."
It was because I was moving, Dean. Apparently, you motherfucker.
The only person that could have made it was me, and then Dean was stepping in. So that I can't do it on my own, man. I am terrible at this.
April Patreon benefits. We have the network sticker sheet. So this is a 6x4 sheet, and every logo you can actually peel individually. I have tested them out. I recommend peeling all the black backing off first, so you're just left with the stickers on the sheet. And
Oh,
much
they're
easier
cut?
to peel that way.
The
Yeah,
images
they're
are
cut.
cut
Yeah. Every image is.
Oh, I thought you
is a
literally had to
separate-
like. Oh wow.
No. They're all.
That is.
They're
balls.
shaped around the logos, so
That is.
Oh,
balls.
the
you can kind of
die
see it a
cut?
bit. Yeah, the
Yeah,
ring
now you're
cast
saying it,
has
now
like the
that I'm
little
looking
circle. Yeah. Jesus. And then we have the Jumbo die cut stickers. So that's a full size sticker on its own.
Oh, that's
that is
Yeah.
that is for April. We have 3 tiers for Patreon. The Sweet Angel tier sticker sent straight to your door and access docs after dark replay. $15 certified crispy certificate and figure fix assistance, and the $25 What a Guy tier, which is the Pog Deluxe set whenever that comes in. Doubles of all the stickers we send and all the benefits of the previous tiers. International postage will be charged for the Pog set. Dean, let's hear from the pillars of the network.
Yeah, shout out to Sean Fear, Ian Seabee, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Lemur Hernandez, King Louie, Mark Pearson, our lovely host, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joel Bretta, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Cret, Big Old Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mike Cruz, Lisa Martin Belonsky, Rick Gregorio, Alvin Jules, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Ezecina, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Tu Cothery, Wah, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Dalmaton, Bola Boy, Jimmy James, Stephen Pritchett, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Big Peps, Stephen Maria Stanley, Jesse Contreras, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer.
Wow. That was like a muted version. Our YouTube
Yeah, that was
channel
very low
members.
key.
I wasn't sure. I was like, well,
If,
it's like a CW thing, or
If you want to join the channel membership, click that link there. But you get special emojis. You get a different color name in the chat. You get some cool benefits. We got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Jess 1, DK Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, Mike Oxlong, S Beam, Andres IB, Daminator Sam Gist, OG Fan, Bam, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Justin Arass, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, and Lemur Hernandez. We got, I think, 3 or 4 more members to get to unlock our next emoji, and we'll have you guys vote on those. Membership starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon, or $2.99 if you're in the Peanut Gallery, and there's a look at the emojis we have currently. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was a nice and tight show, Mark. I'd love to see you. Did a great job hosting tonight.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. A special thanks to Paul Schreiber, man. That guy's just so damn good for this channel. I mean, he's my hero.
Yeah, he's allowed us to do a lot of really cool things this past month. So big shout out to Paul. If you're
Swigged Angel.
Yep.
yeah, if you're excited to hear more about fantasy stuff, D&D is tonight at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, so it's about 3 hours from now, and we're doing a very special Patreon. It's not a Patreon exclusive episode, but it's an episode that the patrons voted on the theme of the episode. It's a loot goblin, and it's going to be a big combat episode. And if we win the challenge, we unlock a very rare magical item for the party. So
Plus we got to be getting close to leveling up at some point too.
I fucking hope so. But anyways, Mark, I'll let you send us home, and we'll kick this one off, and we'll get this up on the audio feed hopefully this weekend.
What am I doing? I didn't have a goodbye ready. I'm sorry.
Jesus
You threw me-
Christ. It's only
You
had
said I did a
8
good
weeks.
job.
Yeah, well, I take it back.
Jumbo, baby.
Left hand Jumbo.
Fool of a took.
Okay. We'll just play the outro, I guess, if Mark didn't have anything
Love you
prepared.
guys. I'm sorry.
Left hand jump.
Here at last, on the shores of the sea, comes the end of our fellowship.